This evening, I want to start a series that I titled Maximizing 2024. That's the series that I'm starting this evening. How do we maximize 2024? So maximizing 2024 is the series. And one thing you will agree with me is that we all want to be successful. In one way or the other, we want to be successful. I think this desire, it's inborn. Even a young child, a child that is born, has the desire to win, the desire to conquer the world. So children by nature are very territorial. They like to protect their territory, their toys, their space. They don't want somebody else to take their things. So that desire to conquer, to win, it's inborn in a child. It's that desire that makes a child to explore the world, to learn new things, to believe that they can take on the world. That can-do spirit is there in a child. So this desire is there. Whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, everybody has that desire to want to win. So I want to talk about 3 keys that will help you maximize 2024. See, life is about keys. You need keys to open doors. You need keys to enter different places. You need keys to succeed in life. So I want to talk about 3 keys, and the keys are embedded in that New Year greeting. Happy New Year. So everybody 2 days ago, you got different messages from people that wished you Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Hidden in this message, Happy New Year, there are secrets that can help you maximize 2024. Because of my time, I would not rush this. I will take it 1 key at a time. If we cover 1 key today, maybe next week we'll cover the remaining 2 keys. So in this word, Happy New Year, as I sat down, I meditated, I reviewed it. I came to the conclusion that there's a mystery in that word, Happy New Year. That the happy is actually the destination or the goal, while the new year is the process. So just follow me and you will see what I mean this evening. The first thing here is that you deserve to be happy. So that's why we wish people a happy new year. We wish them a prosperous new year. It's because the wish here is that we want the year to be successful. We want the year to be good. What is the opposite of being happy? It's being sad, it's being frustrated. And you won't wish that on the people that are closest to you. So the first lesson here is that you deserve to be happy. What does this mean and what does this entail? So if you check the word happy, it also means prosperous. So it means that you should actually prosper this year. And in that word prosperity, we're actually talking about progress. Progress towards your goals, progress towards your vision, progress in different areas of your life, your financial area, your marital area, business, progress in different dimensions, whatever dimension you want to take it. A year is a good year when you make progress. If at the end of the year you were worse off than when you started, then that is not a good year. And this only happens when there's an alignment. So when you talk about progress, prosperity, happiness, we are talking about an alignment between expectations and reality. So people start the year with dreams, with visions, with goals. When they start accomplishing those dreams and visions and goals, then you know that happiness would set in. So first lesson here is that you deserve to be happy. Happiness here deals with prosperity, deals with progress, deals with an alignment between your expectations and the reality that you are facing. So let me talk about this and break it down. So if you consider the secret to happiness from the New Year greeting, there are 3 things I'd like to break down from that happy. We are still on point number 1. The 3 things I'd like to break down, you understand? So the 3 Ds under the you deserve to be successful is the concept of desire, is the concept of defining it, and is the concept of demanding it. Let me walk you through each of these 3 so that you can understand what I mean. What do I mean by desire? That you need to desire success. See what happens. I talked about a child. A child has that desire, innate desire to want to conquer the world. Now, as the child begins to grow, the child begins to experience obstacles. Obstacles, no, you cannot have it. Failures in life, the restrictions, you can't have everything that you want. You understand? The child begins to grow with those messages that I cannot get everything that I want in life. Now, that message is I can't get everything I want. And if you're not careful, over time, that desire begins to die. And because of the failures that the child has faced as it goes up, the rejection, you applied for school, you did not get it. You applied for a job, you did not get it. You went to propose to a person, the person said no. You started a business, the customers are not coming. One consequence of failure is that we begin to discount success. What do I mean? The person has failed so many times that the person doesn't want to hear any message about success. So when you talk about success, the person discounts that because the failures that the person has experienced has knocked off confidence from that individual, and now the person discounts it. And what happens when you discount success is that you settle for a life of mediocrity and you justify it. You come to that point where you just believe it's okay. In fact, there's no need for me to dream because the ones I have done in the past has not worked. So right now, I'm okay with just being average. So a lot of people have settled for mediocrity and they are justifying it and discounting it. There's no desire to want to reach. So when you talk about let's aim for the best, they'll just tell you, I am not interested. So those kind of people, they are not interested in success, in excellence, in greatness, because the desire that they were born with, the fire in their belly has been quenched and killed by a lot of failures in their past life. So for you to succeed, you need to ignite that desire again. 2023 might have been tough. 2022 might have been tough, but this is 2024. You don't allow the failures of 2023 to enter into 24. So this is the first group. You need to desire success. You need to tell yourself that this is going to be a great year for me. That is what desire is. It starts with that desire for you to want to win. That's the starting point. You must desire to want to win if you are going to win in 2024. The second thing here is that after the desire part, so in desire, we will not settle for anything less than our best. We will not allow the failures of yesterday to define the opportunities of today. The next thing you need to do is that you need to define it. That's the second D. So the first D is, okay, I know I deserve to be happy. The second thing here is, under that, I deserve to be happy, you need to desire it, then you need to define it. So what is happiness to you? If you desire to be happy, what is happiness? What will happiness mean this year? That's the second point, because you cannot find what you have not defined. That's why it's called define. You define it before you find it. It is when you define it that you can find it. When you define it, you can unlock the energies to create it. But if you don't define it, you cannot find it. So what would happiness, what will progress, what will prosperity mean to you this 2024? You need to be clear about that. I say here that happiness means different things to different people. For somebody, happiness might be, this year I must move into my house. For another person, I must own my private jet. For another person, I must be an international bestseller. For another person, I must ride a brand new car. For another person, happiness will be, I need to relocate. So you need to find what happiness is for you. And we'll be doing a series 2 weeks from today on goal setting, helping people define the goals that would enable them achieve the success that they want. So you need to define it. And one of the mistakes you make is using another person's definition for your own definition. So another person could be, happiness might be growing my business to $1 million. That's happiness. For somebody else, it's $100,000 that is happiness. For another person, it's $1 billion. It's $1 billion. So you need to define, what would happiness mean for me in 2024? If I get to the end, let's imagine that this is the end of 2024, and you get to the end and you look back and you say, this has been a great year. What are the 3 or 4 indices that you will use to say this has been a great year? That's the second thing here, which is the definition aspect. If you take a race, there are people in the race of life that the starting point of success, when you say on your marks, by the time, before you even get to the block, you must know what exactly is my goal. That the starting point of success is a clear definition of winning. That's the starting point here. What would it be like as I enter this race? What would be a good race for me. So let me give you an example. I will come back to it much later next week. I said to myself that if you think about a race, especially when we talk about the marathon, when we talk about the marathon race, the different marathons that are done at goals, the Berlin Marathon and the rest, you find out that there are different goals that people set. For a first-time runner, the goal of success for that person is just to complete the race. So for that person, finish time is not important. I just want to complete this race. That's what happiness for that person is, complete the race. For another person that has run so many marathons, that person might be, I want to improve on my time, the time I did last year. So for that person, one person is just finish, have fun and finish. Another person is improvement. For the elite runners, the goal is to maybe win the prize or break a record. So you can see that although there are different people running, they have different goals. So for you to succeed this year, we need to understand that life is first and foremost personal. So what is my own goal for the race that is set before me? That goal is something that you must define, then you cannot pursue it. So every individual will need to define it. 2 weeks from today, we'll be talking about defining success using the goal setting masterclass. So as a leadership coach consultant, one of the mistakes I see, or some mistakes that I see, is that some people do not have a clear definition of what success is, or they have a wrong definition of success. So they're using a different yardstick or another person's yardstick to pursue success. So no matter how successful they become, they cannot feel that sense of happiness because the definition that they have is completely wrong. And the third thing here is under the D is that you need to demand it. So first is that we said you deserve to be happy. That's the message of Happy New Year. You deserve to have a good year. You deserve to have a good life. And I remember the advert of Dove. You know, Stan, when Dove was doing an advert for ladies, he said, because you are worth it. That's their, I think it's Dove, because you are worth it. You are worth it. You deserve it. So I want to say to somebody listening to me here is that life is saying to you that you deserve to be happy. But for you to be happy, you need to first desire it, then you need to define it. And number 3 here is that you need to demand. You need to demand it. No, happiness will not be delivered to you like gold on a platter. You need to demand it. And what do I mean by demanding it? That you need to stop the excuses. So in this context of achieving a great year, one thing that you must remove from your vocabulary is the concept of excuses. You need to take full responsibility, and I'll talk about this as we move on. You need to demand it, and the demand is you need to demand it of yourself in order for you to accomplish greatness, accomplish success this year. So let me bring this to a close. I said, you see, under this demand, you can demand from others. What do I mean? And I'll explain what I mean. So there are people that have what I call an entitlement mentality. These are the people who believe that a life is designed in a way where they are the center of the universe and everybody here is meant to serve them. So they believe that it's the responsibility of the state to provide ABCD, is the responsibility of their parents to provide this. What they have simply done. Now, doesn't mean that parents should not provide for their kids, of course, but there's no parent that can provide everything that the child needs. He might even provide financial, what of moral, what of spiritual, there are so many things that a parent cannot provide 100% for the child. There's no state, no economy that can provide for all the needs of its citizens. If you go to UK, there are people living on the streets in UK. There are homeless people in UK. There are homeless people in America. There are homeless people everywhere, in France, in Canada. There are people that are struggling in every economy in the world. So you cannot outsource the significant decisions of your life to somebody else's hand to determine for you. So entitlement is believing that others owe you. They owe you to make you a success. I'm here to bust your bubbles here that nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything to make you a success. If you have to succeed in 2024, you need to come to terms that the government doesn't owe you. In fact, in the part of the world where we live, we know that the governments are not even thinking of their citizens. The last thing in their mind is the welfare of their citizens. In certain places like America, Canada, UK, and the rest, they put their citizens at the forefront. But we just talked about limitations. So imagine being in a society like ours, where the government is not even thinking of the citizen. If you think that the government would make you a success, that's the starting point of failure. Entitlement say to yourself, nobody, although I deserve to be happy, it is not the responsibility of any man, any woman, any boy, any girl, any spouse, any husband, any boss to give me the kind of life that I want. That's the concept of entitlement here. Then the last part here is that you need to take the concept of responsibility. Here it says, if it has to be, then it has to be up to me. So I said here, you need to demand excellence of yourself. This year, in order for you to be happy, you need to demand something extraordinary from yourself. You need to look at the man in the mirror. I think that's what Michael Jackson calls it. You need to look at the person in the mirror and says, hey, if you need to be happy this year, the responsibility is yours. And you need to demand excellence. You need to push yourself. You need to resist the gravitational pull of mediocrity in order for you to accomplish greatness. So that's the first point that I want to cover under happy. So under happy, I said you deserve to be happy, and there are 3 Ds. You need to desire it, you need to define it, and you need to demand it of yourself. Excellence, greatness begins with you, and until you demand it of yourself, you cannot accomplish greatness. Wow, okay, I have like 5 more minutes to bring this to a close. So that we'll come back to the greeting. And the other things I'd like to share in this greeting is that New Year. So when you think about New Year, you think about new possibilities. This year, there will be multi-millionaires that will be made. There will be new possibilities. Opportunities that have never existed before will blow up this year. 2023 was the year of artificial intelligence, so to speak. In 2022, we didn't really hear about AI, even though it was in the works. But it blew up in 2023, that everybody's talking about AI. That's what happened. In two years ago or 3 years ago, during the year of COVID, was Zoom. Zoom just exploded. Out of nowhere, COVID made Zoom to explode. And Zoom went from a relatively unknown company to a global company. So today, this particular year, some companies would accomplish greatness, new possibilities, new opportunities. For those of us in Nigeria, there's a particular company in Nigeria that in the stock market that did 10 times its return. I need you to listen to that, 10 times. So if you had invested $1 million in January, by the end of December 31st, you'll be worth 10 million. It has never happened in the history of the stock market, to the best of my knowledge, where a company will do 10 times in one fine calendar year, 10 times this return. So in this new year, there are new possibilities. There will be multi-billion-dollar industries that will be floated, that will start from scratch and get to the very top. The question here is, are you positioned to maximizing that? How do you unlock the possibilities that are embedded in the new year? This brings me to the second part. In unlocking the possibilities, you see the mystery in the concept of new and year. So if happy is the destination, the secret to a happy year is embedded in the concept of new year. That's where it is embedded. That secret of success, the secret of greatness is embedded in the concept of new year. And next week, I'll be continuing this because this is supposed to be a 30 minutes presentation. Next week, we'll look at the second part and talk about, so how do we unlock the secret to a great year from the concept of new year. I'd like to stop here. I need to get some feedback. This was our test run. We presented on different platforms and had some teething problems. You understand the audio going back and forth, but we're getting the hang of it. So let me hear somebody here. If you can still hear me, just say yes, I can still hear you. And did you learn anything from the presentation? You can put it on the chat and we can take it from there. But thank you. This is the presentation for today. Okay, I can see Mr. Femi says, yes, I can. Thank you. I can see that. Any other person, you understand? Okay, did you learn anything? So today was just a foundational lesson. And what are we supposed to do? Every Wednesday, we take a principle, we take a secret, we take a concept to help you maximize the year. That's the goal. Every Wednesday for just 30 minutes, we share a principle of success, a principle of greatness, a principle of leadership strategy that will help you maximize the year. You see, 2 days ago, I sat down and I asked myself, what is the ultimate goal of this Wednesday presentation? The ultimate goal is to inspire you to achieve the greatness that you were destined to achieve. I believe that every man was born with destiny and greatness. We talked about a child, but between birth and death, somehow that thing is lost. So my goal is to rekindle the fire on the inside and help you recapture that presentation or that zeal on the inside. I just got a feedback that this software is better than Zoom. Yes, it is. It's actually a new software and a new laptop, so that's why the camera quality is better. But thank you guys. Thank you for joining the presentation this evening. Well, next week, I'm sure that we will not have the teething problems that we had today. We'll do some test run to just see how it works, and we'll try it and sort out all the problems. But I want to thank you. Please do me a favor, follow us on our different channels. I don't know the channels. I can see 2 channels that came up. I can see Facebook and I can see YouTube. I don't know. Did anybody, let me ask 2 more quick. Anybody, did you join from Instagram? Anybody from Instagram? Okay, Stanley joined through his stream. Did anybody join Instagram? Did you join connect from Instagram or connect from Twitter or connect from LinkedIn? Let's even see anybody who connected from one of those chats, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, so that we can know, okay, where people are joining from. Okay, people joined directly from Restream. Thank you. So see you next week. Okay, Femi joined from Restream. A lot of people joined. Oh wow, thank you. Anthony Abayomi joined from LinkedIn. Thank you. So this tells us that somebody is actually listening from LinkedIn. Let me not keep you waiting this evening. Remember, you deserve to have a great year. Join me every Wednesday as I share with you some of the secrets that would help you to have a great year. You can actually invite your friends next week on the same platform. So if you join through LinkedIn, it will show on LinkedIn. If you join through Twitter, it will show on the Twitter page. If you join through Facebook, it will broadcast live on that. And for the people in the stream, we'll try and send the link again. Thank you. Do have a great evening. God bless you. I am Dr. Maxwell Ubah.